Hey and welcome, Sir Nightfox here. In this video, we're going to be talking about how I get my helicopter kills. It's a question that I'm asked quite regularly, and there's a couple pointers that I can give you. If you stick around and watch this video, you'll know how to do it too. So the first thing you gotta keep in mind is that the thing that actually does damage to an opponent with the helicopter is gonna be these blades. That's what does it. If you're lucky, you can also use the back blade, the rear blade, to also do some damage. Every time you hit someone with the chopper and they get caught in the blade, you're going to deal 50 damage. This means that if an opponent has no shields, they are going to die in 2 hits. If, however, they have shields, you're going to be able to take down those shields in 2 hits and then take away all their health in 4 hits. Sometimes, if you're lucky, I've found that you can take away all shields with a single hit. I haven't found a real pattern for this, but if you look at what I do, I just try to line up my chopper, line it up with the opponent, and make sure that when I go in, that blade is going to make contact with that person's character. The other thing I do is I always try to use the, and if you're playing on PC, shift button, but really that helicopter burst like you see right there, right before I come into contact with that person. The reason why I do that is because what the burst is going to do is it's going to angle your helicopter downwards. Once you get really close to an opponent, if you can hit that burst, you're going to tip your helicopter forward, and you're going to deal the most amount of damage, or at least the highest chance of dealing damage to that opponent. The other thing you have to consider is the surface. Right here, I'm engaging a target in the water. The way in which you engage a target in the water is quite different. As you can see right there, when the water, you can really let the opponent do all the work for you. When they jump, they are jumping at a height that is equal to your helicopter blade height. This means that if they are doing those deep dives and long jumps in the water, they're going to hit your blade without you doing any work at all. At other times, you're going to be on land. If you're on land, you're going to want to make sure you line up with your opponent so that your blade is going to be underneath them. This means that you want to try to attack your opponent from the lower ground and moving upward. Now in land-to-land combat, this is almost counterintuitive. You always want to have the higher ground. In a helicopter, however, you want to make sure that the opponent has the higher ground. This means that you can ensure that when you come at them, your blade is going to be at eye level with very little work on your part. As you can see here, I'm actually attacking a bunch of individuals at the same time, all going after those elephants, which I have yet to figure out what they're for. And what I'm able to do is just pick them off one by one. And in some cases, if you have plenty of targets all in the same area, you can take out 2 at the same time, like you see right there. The worst thing an opponent can do when you're coming after them with a helicopter is try to build upwards and build a ramp. That if you see somebody building a ramp, go after them right away, because it means that you can just very easily come up underneath them. Oftentimes, opponents, when you're in the helicopter, will try to get up high, being this is their natural move in Fortnite is to get up higher. Those with the high ground have the advantage. This is not true in a helicopter battle. If you're in a helicopter and your enemy's building up higher, congratulations, you now have an easy free kill to make. So this is kind of just a couple of the tips for how to line up your helicopter and get those helicopter kills. If you do this, you can very easily get 10 to 20 kills in a match if you're trying. I think in this match that we're seeing right now, I ended up getting 6 in a few seconds because I was able to just pick these people off one by one. In another video, I'm going to talk about kind of those opening moves in a helicopter, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. As you can tell right now, I have to sit here and just let this guy beat up in my chopper. It's because I didn't follow one of my principal rules, which is grab a gun early. If that happens, you can usually take that person off pretty easily. If you've seen my videos, you've seen me do that. But follow these basic rules. Line up that chopper, get the low ground, and come up on them. Make sure they line up with your blade. You do that, you're going to win every time. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe down below.